It's the most common life-limiting genetic condition in Australia, with one baby born with cystic fibrosis every 4 days. A drug first listed for adults last year is now available in the PBS for kids 6 to 11 with CF. It coincides with the start of Cystic Fibrosis Awareness Month. Joining me now is Dr. Bernadette Prentice, a paediatric respiratory physician and Director of Cystic Fibrosis Services at the Sydney Children's Hospital. Thanks very much for your time. Just talk us through how much this drug is and is potentially life-changing, because for CF sufferers, they have a life expectancy, I think, of about 46 in Australia, so it's a sort of Damocles being held over them, but this really is transformational, we think.
Exactly right. You've hit the nail on the head. This medication is an absolute game changer for our patients with CF. So when children are born with CF, we have to explain to the parents in that newborn period, this is a life-limiting genetic condition. There will be intensive therapies, but your children might not live beyond 40 years. But with this new medication, what we're seeing is a predicted life expectancy into late adult life. So giving them decades more life. And that's life out of hospital, life with their family, life with their friends, not needing the intensity of treatment that they've needed in the past. But the issue with the medication is that it doesn't work for everyone. So you have to carry a particular gene. And so there's about 10% of patients with CF who don't carry the gene and they can't access this therapy. And so unfortunately for those patients, we still see a limitation in their life expectancy. And even though the medication's amazing, it will save lives. There are side effects and there are some concerns, because what we're seeing is a much longer life, but also the nutritional improvement we see is actually an increase in fat mass, which may lead to an increase in diabetes and obesity. And we've got to think long term. So we start our patients early. We're buying them time for the cure to come about, because we don't want to give these patients a long life full of other diseases. And we know that if you have CF, you have an increased risk of bowel cancer, for example. So until we have a cure and we know that we've fixed all of the issues that come with CF, we still need to raise awareness and undertake research. And I'm just so delighted to be here to celebrate the new medication, but also remember the patients that don't have access to treatment in this month, which is CF Awareness Month.
Yeah, so I know there are a lot of side effects around the liver as well for the current medication, so I guess that's a bit of a work in progress. What about the other 10%? I know you spoke about a cure, but could we have a similar drug approach? Are there drugs, drugs in trials that target those with the other gene?
Exactly right. We're working really hard on developing drugs for these particular patients, because often they have a rare mutation and there might be only a couple of patients in the world that carry their mutation. So the normal research programs where you recruit hundreds of people and test medications don't work because there's not enough patients. So what we're doing here is actually creating little mini organoids or avatars of the patients to hopefully test new medications and personalise treatment options for these patients, because unfortunately there's no medications available. There is a pipeline and we're working towards cure. That's our agenda, that we will cure cystic fibrosis, but it will take time and it will take funding and support.
Just finally, briefly, for those taking a new drug, I guess there's the hope too that more of their life is normal, that people, I don't think, legally could even be discriminated against, but realistically, were they not getting jobs, were bosses worried about sick days and so on? Now they can say, look, I've got this new drug, I'll be okay.
Yeah, exactly right. So some of our adolescents will Google CF and know that they're going to die. So they don't plan a life ahead. They don't think, what am I going to do when I leave school? What sort of job do I want to do? I'm always in hospital. And so they actually don't even think towards work. And we've got adult patients with CF who are juggling a very intensive treatment burden. But now there's a future where they can think, my treatments are manageable. I can live a normal life. I can attend clinics when I need, but I'm not spending weeks on end in hospital. And we're really grateful to those bosses in the community who support our patients with CF and say, yeah, you've got to put your health first, do what you need to do, take as much sick leave as you need. But we don't want our patients to live like that. We want to, exactly like you say, normalise their life. So CF's in the background. It's not the centre of their life.